Hey everybody, my name's Colin Hogan, and as the quarterfinals approach, I want to talk about one of the most underrated players in this year's college football playoffs, Arizona State's quarterback, Sam Leavitt. This season, the Sun Devils had one of the best single-season turnarounds in college football, and Leavitt was a main reason for that. But before he was a Sun Devil, Leavitt was a four-star recruit out of Westland High School in Oregon. During Leavitt's senior season, he totaled over 3,800 yards and 44 touchdowns while leading his team to the state championship. Leavitt also won Gatorade and Max Prep Player of the Year in Oregon, but even after his standout senior season, Leavitt only picked up 5 FBS offers, which included Arizona, Florida State, Michigan State, Washington, and Washington State. And a fun fact about his high school recruiting process was his now head coach, Kenny Dillingham, was the one heavily recruiting Leavitt to come down south to Tallahassee. After originally committing to Washington State, Leavitt ultimately flipped his commitment and chose Michigan State instead. When Leavitt arrived in East Landing in June, he had his eyes set on the starting job. Unfortunately, though, for Leavitt, his late arrival put him behind two fellow four-star quarterbacks, Caton Hauser and Noah Kim. Leavitt made his college debut for the Spartans in their Week 5 matchup against Maryland during garbage time, but he did complete his first collegiate pass. Leavitt went on to appear in just 3 more games that season to preserve his redshirt eligibility, but during his limited snaps for the Spartans, Leavitt showcased some great decision-making for an 18-year-old quarterback and also displayed his ability to extend any play. But the 2023 season was a complete disaster for the Spartans from the jump after they fired Mel Tucker over a sexual harassment investigation on him. This led to the Spartans hiring Oregon State head coach Jonathan Smith after the season. When Smith got hired, Leavitt was very public on how he felt towards Coach Smith. "I'm a hometown kid and he didn't offer me," Leavitt told Spartan Illustrated. "There are some hard feelings there." Leavitt did not want to stick around somewhere he did not feel wanted, so Leavitt put his name in the transfer portal. As the 28th ranked quarterback in the transfer portal, Leavitt committed to Arizona State shortly following his announcement to enter the portal. It seemed evident Leavitt wanted to be somewhere he felt wanted, and Kenny Dillingham was a guy that always had his eyes on him. Heading into the season, the Sun Devils had a lot of question marks surrounding their offense after former 5-star quarterback Jaden Rashada transferred to Georgia, and their 2 top pass catchers, Elijah Badger and Jalen Connors, both transferred out of Tempe. However, answers surrounding who was going to be the signal caller were answered fairly quickly as Leavitt showed out in the team's spring and fall camp. Since winning the job back in August, Leavitt has not looked back. In his Sun Devil debut, Leavitt racked up over 300 yards of offense and threw for 2 touchdowns in their blowout win over Wyoming. The Sun Devils went on to win their next 2 games and were 3-0 for the first time since 2019. After a road loss to Texas Tech, Leavitt had his breakout game against Kansas, where he threw for 4 touchdowns, including the game winner. In the Sun Devils' big win over Utah, who was ranked 16th at the time, Leavitt suffered a rib injury that would force him to miss their next game against Cincinnati. The Sun Devils will go on to lose to the Bearcats, but Leavitt returned the following week, and since his return, he has played like one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Leavitt has continued to improve every week of the season, and what I am most impressed about him is how he has grown as a passer through the season. Leavitt has always been seen as a great athlete that also possesses a strong arm, but his development as a precision passer is something not many people saw coming, especially in such a short time frame. He put his growth as a passer on full display when the Sun Devils traveled to Kansas State and they completely dog-walked the Wildcats in prime time. Leavitt threw for close to 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and played a near-perfect football game to really put the Sun Devils on notice. The following week, Leavitt helped lead the Sun Devils to another huge win over at the time 14th ranked BYU and followed that up with another 3-touchdown game in their dominating win over the team down south to clinch their spot in the Big 12 title game. In the Big 12 title, Leavitt put his name on the map. Leavitt threw for 3 touchdowns and completed over 70% of his passes without his top pass catcher, Jordan Tyson. He also ran for a touchdown and had a couple scrambles for a first down as well. Top to bottom, the Sun Devils dismantled the Cyclones in their first ever Big 12 championship victory. But a Big 12 championship is not the final aspirations for this team and their quarterback. This is a team that will be playing loose and confident, and that is scary for a team like Texas with all the pressure in the world leaning on their backs. The Sun Devils were picked to finish dead last in the Big 12 Conference, and had an over-under win total of just 3.5. This team and their quarterback have been written off time and time again, and they are ready to put their name in with the elites. In just 3 short months, the narrative around Arizona State football has shifted, and it is in large part due to the man at the helm, Sam Leavitt.
For a fair amount of time now, I'm just excited for the opportunity. People keep counting me out since day one, and I'm gonna go prove I'm the better quarterback. And that's how I feel since day one. So I'm gonna go put everybody on the map.